All right, just looking at this house, why is it not getting the attention? Even though it's got a roof and these glass panels, you'd think it'd stay dry, but, uh, if I'm going to be careful with this knife here. If I look in this hole here, birds can't even get to it. So, apparently it got moist and the birds can't get any feed out of it. Then at the bottom here, the moistness kept this from coming out on these trays here. Plus I had a big piece of fruit in here, so it was kind of blocking things up. But I'm going to dump all this out and dispose of it, and try to see if I can refill it with some more feed, see if it'll do better. But I'm not real impressed right now. So anyway, it's going to rain tonight and tomorrow, so I'm not going to put a whole lot in the feeders down below, just enough for the deer to eat and their leftovers for the birds. And I'll clean this out earlier, and I'm putting a real light coat of seed in that. I'll come back and put a little more. I'll put some more mealworms in it. But the suets and nuggets will melt, and seed will get all wet and that. The birds are going to feed anyway in the rain, so it's just, I'm sure after tomorrow and tomorrow night I'll be out here emptying this again, probably, to put new feed in it, because I think it's going to be Friday before we get some sunshine. Anyway, let me go fill the feeders below and do this. Also, somebody mentioned about growing some ivy at the base of the pole, and I said no, that'll be a ladder for squirrels and such to climb. So I started thinking, well, I've seen ivy that looks pretty real, so why don't I get me some fake ivy and see if I can decorate the pole from there up and see how it does. If it looks too cheesy, that and doesn't work well, with birds or whatever, then I'll take it down. It's just an experiment. That's what I said. Working on these feeders and that is just it's a learning experience, and if this ivy works out, it's pleasing on the eye. If it's not, doesn't look cheesy in daylight, and then the birds do okay with it, then it might be a keeper. And if the ivy starts to fade, I can just tear it off and get some new. But I can't grow it from the ground up, and obviously ivy's not going to grow from the middle of the pole up without hitting to the ground. So anyway, maybe stupid idea. We'll see how it works out, though. I'm anxious. I'm not anxious. I'm willing to try different things, even if it's kind of unique or stupid or whatever. But you get to see me make my own mistakes here. We're all here to learn. So let me go fill this feeder, fill those down below, and I changed out the suet balls in the back because the fruit and nut just weren't getting enough hits to where over time the suet balls just started to break down and mold. So I put some mealworm suet balls back there, and that seemed to be a hit with the woodpeckers and pine warblers and that, the downy. And so I'm thinking, that might get a little more action than it has in the past. If I can get this feeder up and going better and this going better, hopefully we'll see some more birds. And that's kind of what it's all about, is experimenting, trying new things, and seeing what kind of birds we can get here. Anyway, thank you. Have a good evening. We'll see you when I come back and hang this up. And if you didn't notice, I rearranged downstairs. The deer last night bumped the trays are too close to the camera, and when you got 4 or 5 deer back here, They bumped into the bottom camera and kind of knocked it out of alignment, so I'd come out here early this morning, did the rearrange, pull the trays a little further out to give the deer room to move around it without hitting my camera. And in doing so, I had to bring the water basin in, and got a new water or bird bath down there that I wanted to kind of get in the focus of the bottom cam as well. So I lifted the cam focus up a little bit and zoomed in to try to still keep a close focus on the feeders, but also be able to see the back bird bath. And we hadn't had a sunny day yet, to where that little sprayer on it, it's a solar powered sprayer, it ain't charged up enough to actually spray. It's just been pulsing a little bit. But I did see the eastern phoebe on it, and I've seen the pine warbler on the bird bath back there. So, you know, it's a start. And anyway, let me let you get back to it, finish filling this, and redo this right there. Talk to you later. Oh wow, just heard an owl off in the distance. I don't know if the mic's turned up enough to where you guys can hear it, but anyway, thank you. I think it's a barred owl. Just heard him again. He hadn't done the famous "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for us all?" I think it's hoo 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 hoo. Kind of the way it goes. Hoo 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 hoo. Crazy? Yes, I am. Real bird brain. That was me. Like I mentioned, I was going to clean out that back feeder. This one, the wooden one, but you know it's late. I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning it tonight. I'll clean it tomorrow when it's raining. And I've got a little overhang there. I can work in the dry. But we'll put the Droll Yankee back into action, and this way the birds can use it. They weren't using the wooden tall one as much because the seed, don't know why the moisture would get on down in it, but there's even little bugs in it, so that's even worse. So tomorrow I'm going to clean that thoroughly, and we'll hopefully have it back out in action, and give it another chance and see how it does. And I did put some more in this, but like I said, it's raining tonight and tomorrow, so I don't put too much in here, because too much that doesn't get eaten will have to be thrown out. So just a waste of money paying for feed and that. And again, I love these little containers, 3-in-1 super tote. Sound like I'm marketing. I don't get anything. I'm not sponsored by them. But it is on my Amazon links. What I like to do, I mix my foods instead of buying. I buy a bunch of different types of kind of foods, and then I mix the way I want it. And what I've done is this is a big enough container where you can put a good bit of food in here, and so I mix what goes in here in this container, and that way when I get here I can just shovel it in instead, but I can mix it easier back, where all the food is stored. So these are great, made by Stokes, great little containers. If you don't have large things in it, you can pull the plug like that and fill your feeders with no spill. So I think that's a cool feature as well. But holds, I think, 5 pounds of food. So great little thing, especially if you got like one or two feeders. You can put your feed in this and another one and just pour it in and be done with it. Especially if you mix food like I do, I think it's very handy. Anyway, trying to think what else. There's one other thing I need to do. Oh, I was going to go get some peanuts and drop them around on the ground for the Blue Jays. Even though the Blue Jays have been coming, they like the suet nuggets in here as well. You've seen them probably pop in and grab one or two and then fly off, just like the red-bellied woodpecker does. And today I put out Feeders War Episode 3, which is cool to kind of watch who's in what order, what rank of dominance at the feeders. And so by watching that, you can kind of come to some conclusions. Interesting today were the cowbirds. They're not seen very often. The mockingbird, northern mockingbird, didn't know what to really think about it, so he didn't kind of try to run him off. And the doves didn't like them either. The doves are usually little punks or bullies like the mockingbird. The dove just, instead of coming in and just fire, trying to peck at you, and they will still do that, they just land where you are. So you wonder why birds have to always be on the lookout. They're always looking around the environment and aware. You can hear doves flying in, so they know, to be aware if a dove's getting ready to fly on top of them. But there was a Cooper's hawk out here today, I think twice. Saw the birds freeze a couple of times. He gets right up in that tree, and his modus operandi is to just dive down with great speed and then swoop down and grab a bird. See, if he was flying horizontally, he couldn't get that kind of speed, so he drops down vertically in a fall and then slopes down. In fact, I went out my front door, had something to deliver today, and I heard a dove looked like it was really trying to get away, and I saw this big hawk come down and land on the ground. I thought the hawk had gotten the dove, but apparently not. But anyway, so the Cooper's hawk is in this area, and I guess they got to eat too. If you got these feeders here and there's birds, that's kind of like a bird feeder for them. Actually, their food is the birds, but the birds are eating on this. It's the food chain, the survival of the fittest. But anyway, we go get those peanuts, and have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. I sure appreciate all the viewers, especially the subscribers, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see or be notified of new videos. But the moderators are just the best, because I get up early and I try to stay on this camera in the mornings, and I might be out for 3 or 4 hours in the morning, not to mention filling the feeders and doing all this, and then at night I'll kind of pop in as well. But lately I've been having to shorten my times a little bit because I'm making videos as well, so I'm spending an extra lot of time on this, and I'm sorry I'm not in the chat quite as often as I'd like to be. Tried to develop the bots to where the moderators can pop them to give you information about the birds, because like I said, this whole channel is about trying to learn about the birds and educate and enjoy the birds. That is so strange. I hear a Carolina wren in the distance, and here it's dark, but we got a street light out there, and mockingbirds and the Carolina wrens apparently get up and just start singing. I mean, it's light where they are, so they're just singing away. So I don't hear the owl anymore. It's a barred owl, the kind of that kind of thing. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for us all? Um, anyway, I don't know. I'm just chatting away here. I don't know why you guys put up with me, but anyway, have a good evening.